Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to go over an absolutely awesome new Steam update on their game pages. You know, early access is a big thing in gaming these days, but early access actually fulfilling promises and fulfilling expectations, that is something that is, I don't want to say hit or miss, because I think most games are relatively respectful towards their early access consumers. However, there are games here and there that come out in early access and then disappear off the face of the planet, and it looks like Steam is at least making the consumer aware about instances that. We'll talk about that, and on top of that, I do want to cover a new Steam update as well that I think, might make you want to go back and play a game from your favorite publisher, Ubisoft. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But yes, Steam has now made a new update. Steam is now warning users about early access games that have not been updated in months. This is something that if you just go on the Steam page, somebody linked a game like Heartbound. I'm not here to just crap on Heartbound, but it's the one that, that there was a link floating around, and it just notes the last update made by the developer was over 13 months ago. The information and timeline described by the developers here may no longer be up to date. Heartbound was an early access title. I don't know the ins and outs about this game in particular. However, instances like this aren't too uncommon. I don't want to say it's the majority of cases. However, there are a lot of games that come out in early access that I just don't have any care to cover on this channel, and those are the very, very lower key games. Like, yes, I'm covering Palworld ad nauseum on this channel. I'm covering the early access games, maybe like an Enshrouded or something like that, but those are games that are well known and I feel like are gonna get a bevy of updates. What about the early access games that are a little bit, lower key releases that I'm not gonna be covering all the time? They don't have as much pressure, so to speak, to do content updates, and they might potentially just get away with something or just sneak by. Well, now at least Steam is making the users aware when a game has been abandoned. I don't know what the window is for them to put up this notice. I imagine it's 12 months, which I still think is a little bit too much. I think if a game is in early access, you should be getting an update every other month. I'm not saying an update as in content updates. I'm saying at least an update from the developer as far as what's going on. Let's look at, Heartbound got a patch on February the 1st, and then there was a development update on January 2025. So, this is something that, again, I'm not trying to crap on this game in particular, but yeah, this is one that's linked around, and this is an instance that happens quite a lot in early access in general, so at least Steam is doing something. It's not even about the developers doing anything malicious. Things happen. Life happens. Early access games are often done by very small teams, but the consumer should at least be at the forefront in terms of knowing prior to their purchase that if an update hasn't dropped in however many months, they should be clear. Honestly, I think it would be a good idea to drop at least a notice being like last update released on this date, and that's when it came out. I think that would be beneficial. Even if it came out a month ago, hey, that'll let people know that the game is regularly being updated. I know that is just available in the Steam news and announcements section for each and every game, but in terms of promoting that hey, this game got updated on this date, I think that could be fairly beneficial, but I just throw that out there. I think this is a great change, especially with how big early access gaming is these days, and a lot of games, they should also have a notice outside of just the Steam review section being like, notice this game is facing a lot of issues from a performance standpoint. I feel like if they made it bold on that, I think that would at least light a fire under developers to not drop games that are garbage. I just bring that up because of Spider-Man 2. But in terms of just making it as abundantly clear as possible to the consumer before they buy a game what they're getting into, if there's issues with buying an early access game and there haven't been a lot of updates, if there's a game that's out of early access but there's a lot of performance issues. Again, I get that all of this information is usually in the Steam review section, but maybe some people don't click the review section. You want to make as much information as in your face to the consumer as possible. At least that's how I would go about it, especially in a situation where it comes to like early access games and even PC ports just not working. Moving on from that, Ubisoft has been going back and added a lot of Steam achievements, a very basic feature to their existing games. I believe Far Cry 3 added it, a lot of the older Assassin's Creed games have added it, and now Watch Dogs 2 is the latest game that has added Steam achievements. I think Ubisoft is doing what they can over the last few months that is within their grasp of doing to earn a little bit of goodwill from the consumer back, and I can't imagine that Steam achievements is like this Herculean effort that they have to go through to implement Steam achievements, given that they've just been banging these out very quickly. And need I mind you, all of this has been happening after they announced Assassin's Creed Shadows was coming to Steam day one. And why did Shadows come to Steam day one? Well, you could read between the tea leaves, but probably because a little game called Star Wars Outlaws didn't do all too well. They're trying to earn some goodwill back. Ubisoft, I think, is done at least being as big of a... They don't want to be perceived as big of a clown show as they already are. I remember a time, a decade ago where Ubisoft was generally revered within the gaming community, or maybe revered is a little bit too strong a word, but they had a lot of good rapport built with their audience, and maybe it's a little over a decade ago, yeah, like 2013 time, like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag time, yeah, they would do their things like have like Just Dance presentations at E3 that was a little bit wacky, but for the most part, their big games were turning out rather well, and you remember the excitement that Watch Dogs, a brand new IP from Ubisoft, had. You remember the excitement that Tom Clancy's The Division, the original, had. Like, there was so much hype and buzz around Ubisoft as a publisher and the games that they bring out. That is just not the case anymore, and I do not think it is an unsalvageable situation. I think everything is always salvageable. I look at what happened with No Man's Sky, and yes, Ubisoft is an entire publisher, so maybe it'll be a little bit more of an effort, but I look at games like No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk 2077, I look at those games being brought back from the depths of hell, and now those games are really well received. Does it take a lot of work? Yeah, absolutely, but it's about taking steps. Like, as small of a step as implementing Steam achievements is, it's a step nonetheless, and I think the biggest step, as I've reiterated over and over again, to actually, take a notable step in terms of earning your, at least PC players' goodwill back, is eliminate Ubisoft Connect entirely. Release games that are natively available on Steam. I think that would earn you a lot of trust, and at least it would earn a little bit of that goodwill back. Even doing something like that isn't going to earn all the goodwill back overnight, but you gotta do a lot of things like that because you are viewed as one of the bigger clown publishers in all of gaming right now, and I'm not even trying to be malicious by saying that. That is the reality. Ubisoft is a clown show publisher that a lot of people do not want to play their games from a commercial standpoint. Look at Skull and Bones, look at Star Wars Outlaws, look at these games they've been putting out. Yeah, do they have successes here and there? Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm sure, is going to be huge, but I think they could do a lot better given all of the IPs they have under their umbrella. So that's just my 2 cents on that, but nonetheless, went on a tangent. Whenever I talk about Ubisoft, I'm finna go on a tangent, but Watch Dogs 2 does get Steam achievements if you want to circle back, and Watch Dogs 2 is a really good game. I thought it was a significant improvement upon the first Watch Dogs from a gameplay standpoint. I think Watch Dogs 1 is the stronger game narratively, but I digress. And Steam implementing a very nice change as well. So that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.